"Hi, Mum," said Danny. "Good to see you. But what's all this cardboard everywhere? What have you been doing?" "Oh, I've been buying things for Christmas. I want us to have a nice time," said Marion. "Huh, okay, but do we need that stuff?" said Danny. Well, what he needed was very much what Yuri was thinking about that morning as he set off down the silent beach. It was bitterly cold, and he and his wife and daughter had not eaten for 2 days. Their stomachs had that hard, shrunken ache that only true hunger can bring. They were so hungry that they would have eaten anything. But the streams which usually gave them salmon in the summer had given them very little this year, and now the sea was giving them nothing to get hold of this winter. So the old man had developed a routine for scouring the beach in a more meticulous way. He would walk up the beach close to the high tide line and poke around in the seaweed with the end of his spear. Then he would take a quick break, gazing up as he watched the gulls, free as they were, diving in the pale sky. Then back he would go, this time close to the water's edge, looking for any sign of movement, which might mean there was something that he could spear. Today he began his journey back with a heavy heart, looking wearily out over the water. And suddenly he sensed, rather than saw, a seal. No, 2 seals. No, 6 seals. And as he watched them, they rose up from the water and became young men, each holding a scimitar in one hand and balancing a whale on the other. They came out of the water and lay the carcass of the whale on the sand. Then one young man signalled to Yuri and made a cutting motion with his scimitar and laid it down next to the whale. Now, Yuri, of course, thought he might be imagining this. He rubbed his eyes and he blinked, and it was only when he began to get the smell of the whale in his nostrils that he knew that this was for real. He knelt down next to the whale, picked up the scimitar, chopped off a chunk of the meat and rushed back to his wife and daughter. His wife quickly chopped up the meat and threw it into the pot and put that on the fire, and then she wiped off the scimitar and lay it in a chest where she kept precious things for a trousseau for her daughter. The old man and his wife ate with great gusto and were so relieved and excited that they didn't notice that their daughter was getting quieter and quieter as the meal went on. They laughed and joked and tickled one another so that by the time they went to bed, it was clear they would have a good night. The next morning, the old man woke early, as was his way, and got ready to walk down the beach, as was his way. But something was wrong. His daughter wasn't there. He hurried out down the beach, calling her name out. No sign. And he repeated this for 7 days with no success. Then on the 8th day, just as he was giving up hope, he saw the water start to foam and his daughter rose up out of it. "Why have you left us, daughter?" he cried out. "Father, I am now the wife of the king of the sea," said his daughter. "He gladly gave you a whale because you were hungry and you needed that. But you also kept the scimitar his man lent to you to cut the whale, and that you did not need. That is why he took me from you." And the old man's heart was heavy because he knew it to be true. And Marion's heart was also heavy because she knew that Danny was right and that she needed to think more carefully about what she wanted for Christmas and what she really needed for her family to have a happy time. Have a happy Christmas.